right? Don't just obsess about what you want. Also obsess about where can I find purpose? What gaps can I fill? Because let me not lie to you, people that really make money in this world, they find gaps, they solve it. If you're listening to this and you're not a Gen Z, you might want to turn this off.
Trigger warning.
Well, welcome to Beyond the Base podcast, and this is a podcast by Gen Zs, for Gen Zs, and anyone else who cares to listen, where we talk about business, culture, technology, and the world as a whole through young Nigerian Gen Zs. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Base podcast. I have the one and only Baseman Olu, and with me here I have...
Let's just agree. I'm going to stop saying it. Let's just agree. I'm not the main character. But I'm going to stop saying it because I'm tired of reminding
if you know, you know.
But my name is Ibidako.
Yeah, and today we have a very interesting guest, my friend, and I would like to call him a lover of sports, or rather maybe a lover of football. Today, everyone meet Mayokun.
Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? My name is Mayokun. I'm an architect by profession, a project manager in training. I'd like to think I'm a project manager in training, and then a lover of football, interest in anything sports, dabble in sports, but definitely lover of football.
Let's not leave out the fact that he is an Arsenal fan.
Yes, proud Arsenal fan.
Really?
Proud.
How did you feel the last 3 years
Oh my
competing?
God.
You know,
How's it been?
So, I'd always say this thing first, that like I'm first a football fan, right? Before
I beg.
From
Now,
a
waiting them Arsenal as them
from
they
a
talk.
footballing point of view, right? It's been very interesting, like the progression, like from where we started from and where we are right now, to the point where we've gotten to. How will I say this now? I didn't intently start following Arsenal until like 2-3 years ago.
Oh, really? So in school you were not a deep...
So if you ask my friends, right?
Yeah.
Or friends that have known me for a very long time, I am a Juve fan.
I knew you as a Juve fan.
I remember. Yes.
So I've been a Juve fan longer than I've been an Arsenal fan. Recently, there was a tweet going around about like how the men pick their football clubs, and it's like the club chooses you. You don't choose the club. So Juve is the club that I choose. Arsenal is the club that chose me.
I see.
If you are going to be political like that, Sha. Last 3 years, but to answer your question, how's the last 3 years been? It's been interesting, Sha. Like going from,
Really?
I think this year was the most painful.
Okay.
Yeah, most painful. I think most painful is the word, Sha. But then, yeah, it's been an interesting 3 years. And next season, I'm sure mark this on this podcast. I said,
Thank God this is on the record.
First, that next season is going to be a different story.
Now it's in them United fans they talk every time. Next season, our season 4. We're in 2025 for 12 good years.
No, for real.
Next season, our season.
At least we carry trophies in those 12 years. Can Arsenal say the same?
We have a discussion about this thing. We know all that.
Yeah, before we get too deep into ball banter, today's episode is actually quite interesting. I like to call it Evolving Dreams and the Impact of Sports, right? And that title kind of carries a lot of weight because I feel like almost every boy, right, every male child growing up kind of had that realization that, okay, as much as I love sports, it doesn't seem like I'm going pro. For the average guy anyways. And it comes at different stages of your life. If you're young, if you're used to playing sports in school, maybe there's a local league or whatever, and it a pain. Honestly, I cannot lie, it a pain.
But
right?
I don't think everybody has that realization.
Obviously not.
Let me tell you. So let me tell you, right? So a lot of people don't know this. It's just like my close friends and people I talk to a lot, right, that know what I'm building. But my friend and I, we started a startup. We're building a football startup, and it's basically to cater for what you're talking about.
Yeah.
On I think last week Wednesday, I helped my aunt deliver something at Lekki, and then when I was coming back, I remember I was driving, and then the Holy Spirit just asked me to stop. There's a field that I've been saying I wanted to visit, because so for those people that know, Chamo calls me football field Shazam. So anytime I'm driving past anywhere, I'm just aware of my surrounding. And when I notice a football field, I'm like, there's a football field there. And I'll mentally note it. So like there are places I've driven past and I have a mental note in my head. I have to go and visit that place. I have to go and check out the football field there. So one of these places, I remember I was coming back from the island, and then the Holy Spirit just said, oh, go to this field. So I went to the field. And I got there and I entered, and of course the field is dilapidated, but then there's a team training there, right? There's a team training there. And then of course they're like a set of guys, you know, they're on the other side. They look like what I call the locals, but you people know as Agberos. And I just sat down on the bleachers. And then the person I sat down beside apparently happened to be the captain of the team. Like, and this is how I knew that it was God that like pushed me there, because I just sat down there and I was trying to like, okay, figure out what was going on. And the closest person to me, I just asked him like, oh, are you guys a team? And he's like, oh yes, we're a team. And he gives me some information. I didn't hear him when he said it, but he was saying that, if you need any more information, I'm the captain, you can talk to me. But I was in my head. Then I now asked like, oh, so who's your captain? I want to speak to the captain. And he was like, oh, I'm the captain. And immediately I was just like, what a coincidence. And then we started speaking. And he told me that he was the youngest on the team, right? He's around either our age mates or like a year younger than us. And he said that he had the chance to actually go pro in Turkey, right? That Turkey's team had approached their management, and what happened was the management did not spend the amount of money they needed to spend on the visa processes and the things that would allow him to transfer. And I was speaking to him, and he was saying that there are a lot of people that still have that dream of going pro. Like if you go, so when I say I don't think that's the case, I think the people that come to that realization are the people are like you and me, where our parents are like, no, go to school. I remember when I was younger, also I had the dream of going pro. In fact, I don't have the dream of going pro, but I still keep the same dream I have. When I was younger, I remember I told my uncle I want to represent Nigeria in the World Cup. I want to represent Nigeria in the Olympics. And for the World Cup football, the Olympics track, right? Because I actually do love running as well. And I remember I spoke to my uncle, and my uncle, of course, very supportive. He was like, okay, let's talk about it. And then he now told me, like, you see, like footballers, they have a cap, right? After at most 40 is even a stretch, like your career is over, right? And many times 35, 40 is when people are actually just beginning to thrive, at least in their own generation, right? And he made me realize that you can do a lot more with your mind than with your body, right? And then I started to
a lot more for longer. So.
Exactly. I started to rethink it. And that was when my shift happened. But I still have that dream of representing Nigeria. It doesn't have to be me physically, but the brand I'm building can take the Super Eagles to the World Cup, can take Nigerian athletes to the Olympics that will be winning medals, because I have a dream that Nigeria would dominate in whatever sector we are in. Is it aerospace? Is it sports? Is it in the Olympics, the World Cup? I have a dream that the next World Cup is 2026. Then after that will be 2030. So between 2030 and 2034, I have a personal goal that Nigeria wins the World Cup for me, right? And how do I want to make that happen is I've set out on a mission for myself to build the football scene here in Nigeria, because I think we had spoken about it in one of the other episodes, talking about the Super Eagles where they are bringing players from abroad when we have talent inside here, right? And that's why I started going to watch local matches. And funny enough, it was by coincidence. I was scrolling through Sporting Lagos what do you call it, social media, and I saw this guy was at the game, and I was so shocked. Not like I was shocked, but like I was like, wow, interesting, right? And so to your points, I think it's the people that
have alternatives.
The people that have alternatives that they come to that realization. But I think so in the last episode that Ibra said that in the trenches there's hope.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of these people are like, they are still coming out, they are still going to train because they want to make it.
I know.
They want to make it. And for me, what I've set out to do in my life is to make sure that those people, they're able to realize their dream. Because I come from a place of privilege. I can decide now that, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'll just pick up the phone and be like, okay, Daddy, I'm ready to get back into a job. Like, just plug me one or two people. And I'll get back into a job. But I'm like, you know what, I don't want to do that. In fact, I don't even need to call my dad. My mentor, I can just call her like, okay, like, because I do some stuff for her on the side. I'm like, oh, I do this project, I do that project. I can just call her like, okay, I think I'm ready to get back into a job. Right? I have that privilege. But a lot of these people don't have that privilege. So I want to make it like my life's mission to make sure that these people, right, they can see a path to the hope that they dream for.
So what I also want to chip in with is that not the football space, and I think this is something that a lot of people look over, is very wide. There's a whole world in football.
There's a value chain.
There's a value chain that is not just being a football
player.
So where I in keeping with the title of this episode, Evolving Your Dreams, is that like some guys they wanted to become footballers, right? But then maybe the reality of things caught up to them, and it's like, I have to get a job and do something that the average Joe would do. But then, like, I think that those dreams now started to evolve into something else. I have a friend, he's doing his master's now, but we served together. We spent the 1 year in Abuja together. I served in Abuja and spent 1 year in Abuja. So he's like, if he's a very good footballer as of right now, not to the average Nigerian professional footballers level, but like for my level, he's a very good footballer. But he's like, he'd like to coach. He'd like to become a manager. He'd like to put things through. Even me, as I have another friend too at my office, that he'd like to become an analyst and also a coach too. So I think that that's merging the two together now. Answering your question and even like starting another discussion is like, the dream doesn't end when you realize that you can't become an actual footballer. There's so much in the football space. There are football analysts, there are technical directors, there are sporting directors. If you, like you said now that you go to grassroots and you watch matches, there are scouting systems in football too. There are people that look for talent and all of that too. So if you're watching this and you wanted to play football, but life happened, football space is too wide for you to just throw it out of the.
In fact, even just to like chip in as well, even for the another thing I've been thinking about more is more of the medical aspect of the football thing, right? Because like for many people don't know that I actually injured myself at the beginning of this year. I played football for the first time since the 2nd of January last week Saturday, right? And I could feel the pain in my leg. I was limping. I couldn't run as fast. But during the whole time I was injured, when I was in my cast, I was thinking about how it's supposed to be someone's job to make sure that I recover properly. But because of the fact of the state of the country and like the medical industry, right, a lot of these people are not available or they've gone to do other employment. And for me, right, I think about my own dream is to build the football industry, because the football industry just doesn't create jobs for the footballers. It creates jobs for nutritionists. It creates jobs for doctors. It creates jobs for physiotherapists. It even creates more jobs. It has a ripple effect because you are literally bringing a whole industry.
Not just for creatives too. People that design kits and
exactly. Also, in fact, that industry, right, is an industry that that investors are going to be they're going to be happy to put their money inside. Because you look at Europe, look at the Turkish league, look at Saudi Arabia, look at China, look at Japan. Like it is an industry where investors know they'll get their money back.
But before they did, like, where I want to draw attention to is that value chain. There had to be initial investments, right? Because talking about, people in, I don't want to use the word trenches because I find that a bit derogatory, but people in the hood, right? Who I've seen...
Potato.
Fair enough. Right, but I know loads of people, like, as growing up around Oshodi, I used to stay with my grandma for a bit, and people like...
So you said don't date trenches.
What?
You said don't date trenches.
I won't say that. I'm not forming that before Ibra will drag it. Right, but I've seen there are a lot of local leagues. I mean, I had cousins that used to come home with medals from playing, but sooner or later, after one or two, after some false promises, right? But I love that value chain aspect of it, because growing up, I actually used to watch Nigeria's local leagues on DSTV before, right? At least when I was still like super passionate about watching ball, right? And it always broke my heart how the stands are almost always empty, or it's just small portions of people. Because if you look at the way Saudi, China, even Turkey have like massively invested and poured into their sporting systems, you see why they are gaining traction, they are growing. Obviously, eventually they might even reach the levels of like Europe.
But funny thing is that actually a lot of people don't know this, and I'm very sure that like we might not, unless you search for it, but you might not know. The Nigerian government is actually being very intentional about sports.
I'd like to know how, really.
One thing I have done is I have four things I'm actually very interested in: sports, transportation, education, and agriculture. Right, but the first two, like my eyes right now, transportation and sports. But the first is sports. So I've been doing a lot of reading on like the sports industry in Nigeria, the transportation industry in Nigeria, and one thing I found is that this present administration, right, the renewed hope agenda, they want to build the sports industry to be at least 5% of the Nigerian economy, right? And they are actively pumping money into that. So right now, before we even got on the pod, I was going to Telegram and I was following the Nigerian Sports Commission, and there's the sports games that are supposed to start in Ogun State, right? I think they're about to roll it off maybe next week or so, and I've been following it, and this is not even something that they're just saying they want to do. No. Even if you even look at the social media of the whole thing, it's actually done properly. Not the when did you see the banner for when Remo Stars won MPFL? Don't worry, we will show you people. But like that just it showed like that was not done, like it was not done professionally. But these people are
going
actually
that far. You not see Super Eagles in a conference. They showed them in, was it Rwanda?
Yeah.
Sophisticated background, LED screens. They showed them in Nigeria. They just printed all those banners using maybe F&M Practical, or I don't even think universities use banners that are rumpled and bad. It was so unprofessional. And I know the budget for that thing was serious. So like there still has to be this accountability, or I don't even know if you call it regulatory bodies in sports.
I think the thing is that it's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
But at least from the side of the executive, right? The executive gives the order, then everybody now meets up. From the side of the executive, now I have seen, right? And this is not like, I'm trying to be like, this government is like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm saying based on the sector I am interested in, I've seen a willingness to and actually a lot of them are trying to do public-private partnerships, right? I've seen a willingness to actually put in the resources to actually get things done, right? So one thing I remember that they were talking about, and I had seen it in the newspaper, that they are starting to rethink their whole Super Eagle approach, because they are talking about how it's costing them a lot to bring all these players from different places, right? When they don't know if they might win a match. So now they are looking more internally.
I've always even wondered, do they ever genuinely get enough bonding time and training time not just training 2 weeks
So
to a match, not just 3 weeks.
It's never really as convenient as like club match.
Yeah, it's never really as convenient.
You only have like
2-3
3 weeks to train and to get to each other.
I find that super inefficient.
But like even for that, because I heard you talk about it on the previous podcast, right? Yeah. It's like there needs to be, so if what you said is factual and like it's working out as is, right, then that's kudos to them really, because it's like if you are going to develop talent internally, the resources, the equipment for it needs to be better. Because we were talking about like finding when you were talking initially about like going and finding new fields and finding places that they play with, and you find that a lot of these places is sand. The places that you have carpet grass is rubbish. We were talking about Obele the other time too. That is dilapidated. That's an actual pitch with carpet grass and all of that.
I mean, it's like there's even this place under, I can't remember the bridge close to the island where they've actually refurbished it proper.
Linking up to Ikoyi, so another few.
So the thing is that like I can see, at least based on, again, it's not a thing of like, oh, you're praising the bare minimum. It's not that. It's a thing of, okay, I'm seeing a willingness, right? And you're supposed to like, let's meet each other. Yeah. Let's meet each other. You guys are bringing your own and we are bringing our own, right? And like I would keep saying it, like get up and do something. Like I keep saying it, get up and do something, right? For me, when my leg was broken, like I was in a cast, I was in crutches, I was going around Lagos looking for fields. And the person that I'm doing business development with right now, right? I met him while doing that. Like he saw me in my crutches, I was walking around, and he was like, oh, he just wants to tell me like different fields that, he can see I'm looking for fields. That's how I started knowing like different fields around. Really this morning, I went to one of the fields that the place where I broke my leg, right? I went there because I was supposed to talk to the manager about what I'm doing, which I will talk about later, right? And then when I was leaving, I saw someone that was asking about the place. And I just walked up to him and I was like, oh, hi. I saw that you were asking about football. What's going on? Are you new here? And he said, he's not really new in Lagos. He used to live in Ikorodu, but he came down to stay with his mom for his NYSC. And for the past week, he has been wanting to play ball, but he has not really known.
That's a big thing,
then actually. He said, you know what? I'm going to go out there and find. And I got speaking to him, and in the conversation I was speaking to him, he learned about 5 new places from me. And I told him that at the beginning of this year, these 5 locations I give you, I didn't know it. I went out myself to go and do it. And then the project I'm working on is so that people don't need to go out themselves to do it. That's
a big problem.
Is a repository of fields all over Lagos that you can just get up on your phone and see and go like, you know what, I'm going to play ball. And for me, it's now a case of I'm going to be much involved in at first the football industry, right? And then actually now being involved in people's active lives. Because if you look at Europe, those guys are healthy. They go out, they walk, they cycle, they spend time outside, they are healthy.
Places like Denmark have more bicycles and cars.
Exactly. If you look at Asia as well, they are outside, they are walking.
Here?
A place I shall not name, they are very unhealthy because their cities are not walkable. They eat unhealthy. There's not a lot of physical activities. Here, I want to replicate that ideology of physical activities. My cousin and I were talking a couple of days ago, and she was talking about how she feels so different and light because she started playing tennis. She started learning how to play tennis. And before, her routine was so mundane. She works remotely. She'll wake up. She'll work.
That's a lot
she'll
of
go back.
too.
And she just realized that she feels more alive. The fact that she's going out,
feel happy.
Exactly.
Even me, I started going to the gym just 2 months ago, and it has drastically changed my lifestyle because I've been working remotely for almost like the past 3 years, and I just noticed how sedentary my lifestyle became. And even after buying ergonomic chair, buying nice pillow, like I was still spending so much time in one position, and it was so unhealthy. And just going to the gym, even as much as I hate the gym, because I have a trainer that is after my life, right?
He's for your betterment.
Right, but I notice how it changes my mood sometimes, because there are days when I wake up and I'm like, oh God, another day. I'm like, okay, let me just go to the gym. I don't feel like it, but let me go. or some days that I work late. So when you wake up, I know your eyes are still red. Because I got to the gym, everybody was looking at me like, guy, who sent you message? Right? And this wicked guy looked at me like, I'm not the one that told you not to sleep on time. Oh yeah, go and carry weight. But it was great because by the time I go back home to start work for the day, I always go early in the mornings. There's just this energy. Like that's one thing I love about it's the paradox of exercise. You're sweating, you're burning energy, but it still gives you energy. Right? It makes you feel like your cousin said, lighter. Right,
more happy yourself. You can think straight. You can
exactly. Your body is alert because we forget how much as human beings we have evolved almost into a point of complacency. Our forefathers and those guys were battling it out in the wild, fighting wild animals. They run through How did plantations across the world become a thing? How did people realize that cotton could be an industry? They were not lazy,
bro. They were discovering.
That's why even as someone who works in tech, I still kind of hate the impacts a lot of these technology has had on us. Like, curiosity is no longer a thing, right? Hard work is no longer a thing. Everything. And AI has just worsened that.
I was about to say that because I am so scared for the future. No, it's not even the next generation. I'm so scared for the future.
Yeah.
Because, again, like the last episode that I read, right? Already we don't have deep thinkers. We have we don't have people that think deeply, that are thinking to solve problems. Now with like artificial intelligence, and I'm not even going to like lie. I use them a lot, but for my own is okay. I don't understand this. Quick question. You give me an answer. I'm like, okay, what are your sources? I now go back and I spend a lot of time reading because if I get into a situation that I don't have access to these tools. And my brain cannot function without them. A lot of people, their brain cannot function without these
tools. We are starting from something. Like you have an idea, know it. You just
like you use it as an amplifier, not as a core.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, a lot of people that is their starting point.
That's their be all end all.
And then even with that's AI on the mental side of things. Like on the physical side, there was this thing that was going around that people were using to get thinner. I can't remember the name. Ozempic, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like we keep on evolving.
We keep
and developing to the point where we
gratification. People don't know how to deliver, and it's sad.
And the thing is that it even creates routine. Like as we are talking about, like all of this, that you feel lighter, you feel happy, and all of that. The days that because I play ball every weekend. The weekend I don't play ball. I know that this week. I don't know what's going to happen this week, but I know that I'm -1 in continuity. Like for the fact that I've broken this cycle of mine, it's like I know it's going to have some impact on me and all of that. So like there's a necessity for like doing things like continuity and all of that, and like not finding, how do I put this now? Not replacing
the core,
the going, all of that. Exactly, habits and doing all of that.
Because habits build up both negative and positive. The more you rely on these things, the more your brain outsources it. So like Vidako said, when you now get to a point where you need to think critically, you don't even have the skills.
Yeah.
And lots of people, I think another issue, a lot of people are using ChatGPT as therapists.
Yeah.
And again, I work as a data engineer. I don't trust anybody with my data. Even though like obviously there are some basics like the government. But when you start putting all your personal info, these guys will sell that company one day. And God help us, it is to people in other parts of the world, or maybe like that will use your information for unhealthy things, right?
You don't know that. You don't know that.
It's a possibility now.
Yeah, but like I think that any part of the world can use.
So anybody can use it for evil, right? Yeah. I'm not putting those guys as the black sheep, right? But just giving as an example.
Yeah.
Right. So really unhealthy. But there's some questions I really wanted to ask, right? I think for me, for starters, is one, why don't we have sports scholarships in this part of the world? Like you look at US and even Europe, like many of these guys and many of their industries are built around, many of their leagues, right, are built around the minor leagues in a lot of colleges or universities. And then children underrepresented or underserved don't even have money, but they go to certain schools or certain high schools. They play well in that little high school league From there, some universities grant them scholarship. They scout
There's no
from
money.
there. What? No money.
There's no money, and I think there's no reward system.
Exactly.
So there's nothing. So like you said, that system now. They say a Mason Mount now. Mason Mount started in Chelsea and he grew through the system and he became. So like there was a goal that a Mason Mount, a Chelsea was trying to achieve. Like I want this guy to be in the first team. He's good enough to be in the first team. And then like they're thinking of the financial value that a player of his quality would get. So it's like if I take care of this guy through this level,
there'll be a reward.
He will return on the investment. Why to answer your question of sports scholarship, it's in that same vein. Let's be practical about it now. CU has CUPL, it has something that we both can relate to, that we have CUPL, it has Chancellor's Cup.
Yeah.
There is no whoever wins the Chancellor's Cup or whoever wins CUPL has no direct benefit to CU as a thing. So it's like, why bother? I would think that this is me just speculating now that there is no. The reason why a school like CU with its value system, right, would allow such competitions because like they don't have anything to lose really. Every other person, they are their own students using their own facilities in a game that their own students organized. So it's like, nothing
it's
to
just fine. It's a net balance.
In terms of solution, right? It's like I think that there could be some sort of like inter-university league.
I mean, there have been attempts, but I've never really seen one. I mean, there are still some, I guess, right? But again, many of them are not even cross ownership. You rarely see private public unis do that, apart from the ones that students plan themselves.
Outside. Those ones, so that was what I was even getting to now. There was the Playboy Africa, I think that was last year and all of that. The way people came out for it was crazy.
Yeah,
like the organizers, I was there too. So I was there. I saw people that have
graduated.
People that from my secondary. I schooled in Ibadan, so I've seen people from my secondary school, people that I've met around that. People came out for it. So on a practical financial standpoint, now it's like how much did the organizers of Playboy Africa make from that money? So like you're seeing that they organized the competition. And there was reward for the competition. So it's like everything that happened in Playboy Africa happened properly. Because like there was, unless you
No. I guess no. So what you're saying, like I completely agree with it. And that because I see, number one, I think football is one of the a lot of people think, oh, fintech is there's money in fintech.
The industry in
right?
football.
The money you make in football, right? Football is the industry that can grow the fastest in this country. It can grow the fastest because number one, there's already the interest.
Yes.
Well, there's
already the interest.
But
two, right?
Okay, tell me on it.
Yeah. So number one, there's already the interest. Number two, people are already watching football.
Yeah.
Now, in the football industry, if you have something that people are already interested in, you don't need to do much to sell them.
Oh yeah.
In fact, the effort that you need to do to sell them is close to zero. If you can just like he said that this Playboy Africa, that people came out for that, and of course the organizers sold tickets, right? And they made money from that. Imagine you are doing it on a large scale for like this inter-university thing that university students are coming out to support their university.
So imagine like a home and away type of thing. Imagine Unilag coming to see you to play, and see you going to play. Like, and then it's now a thing of that the winning university gets this amount of money for scholarships for students. It's something that even, like I said, even investors would put their money inside because they know they will get their money back. And it will fall down, it would ripple down to scholarships that you asked about.
Exactly.
Because I can't imagine me as, say I'm a dean of CST or something. I'm seeing one local boy that is killing, and say I'm young, I'm still playing, but I'm seeing one yoga boy that is killing everybody on the pitch. What will it cost me
to give you a scholarship
come and learn, as opposed to the money that I will be gaining yearly from a football competition? It could not, maybe it could be per semester. So if this one person that I brought in change the system and cause CU to win what said competition.
Again, well, I feel for a lot of things, right, in this country is what I've noticed, even in developed societies, right? I'm not a huge fan of those terms, anyways. What I've noticed is you need a lot of sustainable long-term investors as well, because all these things are projections, right? When you organize such events, you notice that different things happen.
Can I tell you something?
You might not always break even, chill, but you need people who can buy into that future long term. Well, go on.
Can I tell you something? There are people that they are coming down to invest. I can't mention, but there are people that are like. There are people that are actually see a lot of people are leaving Nigeria. Like Nigerians are leaving Nigeria, but I tell you, people outside are coming here. They're coming here to, no, it's not they're coming here to put their money, because again, the vision I am seeing is that a place like this that has been chaotic for a long time, right? If you are invested now, and people don't believe Nigeria will get better. But I'm sorry, like it's not a thing of, oh, it's not going to get better. It will get better, right? When it starts to get better, the money you are making that you put down, you'll be making this. It's not 10x. You're making almost 200x the money that you put down. There are people that are coming down, like they are doubling down to invest in this is major brands. They are coming doubling down. That they are doubling down into this sector in this country just to make sure that they are the ones that are first mover advantage. So by the time it picks up, they are the ones benefiting from it. Because if you look at the fintech rise, about 10, 11, 12 years ago, it was nothing to write home about. But look, 10 years later.
See, the thing is, that's what I'm saying. My issue is, the whole world is betting on Africa to be the new Asia. Hopefully that happens, right? Because we still have a lot of impediments. So a lot of these guys are investing. My issue is not enough of Nigerians are investing long term. Because even the whole, just remove the fin from it, tech as a whole, right? The reason why a lot of things propagated is because YC is like literally the biggest accelerator in the world. And they have had more Nigerian startups intake than almost any other African country, which has led to the rise of why, I think we're probably the highest, after Egypt, we're either second or third highest country that has the highest number of unicorns in Africa, right? But the painful part is a lot of those ROI are not coming here. It's going back to Techstars, to YC, and to so many other investors there, right? I've been following up, there are a few now Nigerian funds, right, that claim to be investing in Nigerian businesses. Some are still standing today. Some, the last side of them was when they announced the beginning of the fund 5 years ago. Nothing of their operations today, right? And it's painful because all the other guys, they will invest too, but one thing they do is they will collect. And when they collect, we're left back with ourselves and still being tied to, to foreign powers.
So let me get a question. They're asking that how do Nigerians invest in Nigeria and so that money stays in Nigeria.
Yeah, and sustainability, because the thing about sustainability is sacrifice. A lot of things might not come fast. It's business and it's investment. A lot of things might not show forth till 1 to 3 decades after. And you need people who have the patience or people who are willing to take the risk regardless. Like for now, this sport leagues and universities and linking it to scouts, that value chain needs to be mapped, right? Schools also need to be selfless. For example, private schools like the one we went to and a couple others, they are doing well financially. So to them, they are not necessarily interested. To them, it's either an unnecessary risk or it is not their core value add, right? But we need people there who can champion this movement, who are selfless enough to say, you know what, we're seeing into the future, 5-10 years down the line, because realizing that as much as education is amazing, there is no more than one route. Right, because at the end of the day, even the guys that own majority of sports teams, are they not the core corporate guys? Do you get? So it's a full cycle, but we need these people to see themselves as part of the value chain. If not, like,
But I mean, that's why. So, for instance, the owner of Remo Stars, I can't remember his name, right? But that's why he started Remo Stars. That's why Shola started Sporting Lagos. Like these people are. So now the thing is that we actually have people like that. It's just that we need more.
Yeah, we need
right?
more.
We have people like that they have established themselves.
We even started seeing some more. Even Burna Boy started the club which other time.
No,
really?
My own issue now is the academia. Look, MFM has a football club. Church has a football club in the MPL.
So the thing is,
right?
I think the thing is that right now is that everybody's interest at this joint.
Yeah.
Right. And it's again is to there has to be a link to bring the interests. Again, if you think about it, right, even in those those Western countries, the academia is usually I think it was in recent times that the academia has started to work hand in hand with industry. Right.
It depends on specific nations.
No, but for a long time, the academia was just pushing out research, right? While the industry were doing their own thing, and then they finally had to say like, we have to work together. So there were some operations that the industry was doing, right? Because they are for profit, right? And the academia was like, this is destroying the environment. This is doing this. Yeah. So they were always a loggerhead until there was now a call to table like, see, you people can influence how we do things that can keep our core mandates, but at the same time we are doing things in a better, better processes, in a better way. Do you understand?
But that's about 100 years. It depends on the industry, because if we're looking at tech, now it's over 100 years. Now Silicon Valley started from schools.
Yeah, right, I know. I'm talking about like ideally, right?
Yeah, ideally.
Like academia and like industries
should be linked.
No, ideally, like they've always been at loggerheads, because academia is for the betterment of society or betterment of the human race, and industry has just been money driven, and profits usually they don't really, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. Right, it's government regulations that now put it up like, no, you can't do this like that. No, you can't do that like this. You can't do this like that. So again, right, there just has to be that, like, okay, this is how it benefits you. Because genuinely, right, sports scholarships get more people into universities that you can now change their mentality. Imagine you bring someone into university, right, on a sports scholarship, and while he's in university he realizes that, you know what, I don't want to go down this sports path again. While I'm in university, I'll continue doing it, but I think I found a new passion. I want to go into computer programming, or I want to do like physics, or I want to be a physicist. Yeah. So again, right, it's now how to let the academia see that this is how you can improve the overall education of the average Nigerian, right? But a lot of people don't see it that way. Today I went to talk to the field, right? I went to talk to one of their managers, and she was also talking about her problems. And I just told her that, she mentioned something about babes. And I was just like, why don't you use your babes to attract people, and people that have you? So she was talking about how they keep spending money on buying new babes because like they tear a lot, right? And I was like, why don't you just push the responsibility of maintenance of the bibs to your customers, right? So they buy bibs from you,
and they bring it when they come to play.
Exactly. And then when they are coming with their bibs, they get some perks, right? Yeah. So they can see the value in having the bib, and then the bib, now they've saved money on the amount they spend to replace, because she said they replace bibs almost every 2 days.
For non-football fans, let's explain.
Okay, so a bib is like a sleeveless over
it's usually neon in color or yellow
that they use like in doing training, right? Or you can just type BIBS on Google, right? So every 2-3 days, right? And it costs averagely like 3-5, right? For one, right? Wow. So like I was telling her, like, you can save more money by going down this route, right? But a lot of people don't see it that way, right? So you have to bring it out for them, right? For you that you can see it that way, that's what you have to do. Like, as a problem solver, you have to see the problem, see the solutions, and the different stakeholders, you bring it out to them like, this is how you do it.
I feel that too.
Yeah.
So Omo, it's been an interesting conversation so far. Now, I want us to move to a section of this episode where we're going to be reacting to a couple of things that we saw online. I think the first thing I want to start with is a tweet I saw a while back. And it's an interesting thing that a number of people, if you live in Lagos, you can definitely relate to this at some point in time, right? And yeah, I really hope things like this change, but let's get into it first. So this was by a lady on Twitter called PS_Wears, and the way she starts the tweet is hilarious. So let me just read it out. I'm heading out to go and show somebody Shege this evening. A big sister of mine relocated to Lagos, and since I am here, I had to assist with quite a few things, from accommodation to buying of needed things in the apartment. We bought a big generator last week, and the generator carried both the fridge and the air conditioner comfortably, only to discover 5 days after purchasing that generator that it can no longer carry her fridge or her air conditioner. When she complained and she said she wants to go and return it to where she got it, I just started laughing because I knew that she doesn't know what's going on. So I've gotten my tools for mass destruction, and the neighbors who tapped her light are about to hear exploding sounds today. My own is to turn on the gen and increase it, and everywhere will set with bag, bag, bag. And I will turn it off, and we will all stroll out to go and have some nice drinks. Almost some neighbors are evil. They must know that this my calm sister, right, is a pretty person, so they think she cannot match their energy. But in this era of T-Pain, you go to tap person light and generator, and you have the gut to use your fridge on another person's light. I guess how she ends it. Wish me luck. Then I went to find the next tweet because she was updating us on a daily. This is a real savior of society, right? And she was like, we turned on the generator and 2 houses in the compound had lights. The landlord and another tenant. How is a landlord tapping his own tenant's lights? That was wild. So immediately the load came on the generator and the sound became different. We did a video recording as evidence because some people can move mad, and we even kept one phone on a tripod at an angle to cover the whole event. These people are dedicated. I love the dedication, to be very honest. Right? And said it's very necessary because the landlord might move mad. So I increased the generator to probably increase the voltage, right? And all we could hear was the blasting of bulbs and a loud spark from the 2 houses. Then we turned off the generator and we were asking, what happened? What did we hear? Both the tenant and the landlord's son came out, but they couldn't say anything.
What do you want them to say?
So they were just looking, and they went back into the tenant's house. So obviously they knew what just happened. My sister was looking at me surprised. Less than 1 week in that house and everything has happened. My own is, this is just stage 1. This is where I stop in the Shege. Tomorrow we will continue from where we stopped. I know it won't end here, but Wahala will stop in this compound from tonight.
I mean, she's justified now.
Justified like
she's completely justified. I mean,
because people are evil on so many levels. I know people that have literally experienced this thing in Lagos. It's just pure wickedness. The fact that the landlord was on it is what blew my mind. Like, that's shamelessness to like the next level.
I mean, she showed them shiggy. Now they have to go and think of how they are going to replace their appliances.
Oh my god.
Do you think she should still stay there though?
Oh no, she moved.
And I followed the story down. She shouldn't.
She told the sister that they had to move because Nigerians move.
If it's one thing,
your safety can legit become a concern. Right.
That's crazy, man.
But that's mad.
Sad. Imagine that spending
happens?
them. It happens though. It happens like crazy. The way people could relate to
Lagos
it.
People are moving mad.
Wallahi. I would say I'm not even surprised.
But that's like dedication, because like an average person can't come and do that. Like they called an electrician.
Yeah, definitely called an electrician to do that.
To tap for.
So me that bought generator, I don't have sense.
See,
people are wicked.
Heart of man is desperately
purely wicked. So now there's a video we want to watch. Can you? And this is sad because I'm pretty sure a lot of people, over the past week you've heard about this. I mean, a national body went on Twitter and started an announcement of bad news with "Man proposes, God disposes," to then announce that how many centers, 157 centers in the country, JAMB centers, had issues, technical glitches, and they're attributing that to the failure of almost 400,000 students in the country. I mean,
400,000.
Yeah, it was about 375,000 people
that were affected.
That were affected, yeah.
Oh wow!
According to their claim, and it's sad on so many levels. Like it is mind-boggling on so many levels that an exam of such importance to a child's academic trajectory is taken with such levity. I mean, everything from the person that announced that message, the way they announced it, right, to the people in charge, right, a demand on accountability is needed. Because so many children now have strained relationships with their parents. Some people have job beaten in their house, but because only...
That's crazy, yeah.
It's crazy. The only... was less than, I think...
So it's like
less than 30% of people that go up to 200. It was insane. But let's check out the video.
So yeah.
And I unreservedly apologize for it.
I don't understand.
He's
He's crying.
Yeah, he's crying.
I don't understand why.
Because in Nigeria, theatrics is the way to gain.
This guy an actor.
Not today.
Make Nollywood sign now.
And the trauma it has affected Nigerians to directly or indirectly.
So like what's it? Just for the emotional.
With all his grey hair, you are shedding tears.
Personally responsible.
The plot.
No, who will be responsible for?
The plot is to cry, get people sympathetic. They forget about it in a week.
I think Nigerians are too angry for that type of plot to work.
Honestly. I'm sorry, this is fun.
No man, you just look at things that happen in Nigeria.
Clapping? That's my. Why are they clapping? That's what he wants.
And this way.
Apologize for it.
Do you know my suspicion? This man probably never cried a day in his life in front of his children or his family, but he'll come on national TV to save his job with this.
Well, that could say that we should look forward to Nigeria. But like, why does somebody still have his job after this type of thing?
Man.
Why does someone still have their job?
Do you even know what pissing me off?
this?
They made that announcement on Wednesday, and the makeup exam was Friday. So imagine you've written an exam, they've told you failed already. Then now come and tell you, oh no, apparently the issue was on the systems. So 3 days time, you're writing it again.
So I have to carry myself from that emotional backlash.
Everything, just reset your brain. I don't know what to do in 3 days, but just get ready and go and write it again. It's wild. It is wild.
But another thing too is that I would like to see the results even after this one.
Yeah, I definitely want to follow up.
The last JAM results went good. So given this was a system error, it's
as
like
they claim, yeah.
Let's see what the next one.
And it even calls a lot to question, because if a system error could hit that many people, because how many people take JAM in a year? At least approximately maybe 1.2 million people. I might be wrong.
2 million.
2 million. Okay. 400k out of 2 million is a sizable number. It still is. And if it's happening now, the question now is how many years could something like this happen that it was not announced?
Exactly.
Right? How many? Because I've heard of several cases of people that their center was penalized for something, and like, either people's results were withheld or subtracted from all sorts of things. It calls to question.
Someone was. We were talking about this at the office, right? And someone was telling me how. She was telling us how about like 2 years back there was a problem with her center.
Yeah.
Where they had to add some 65 marks to everybody.
Oh, they added. I only know someone that they subtracted.
For the fact that like you are adding or subtracting is a problem.
Yeah.
Like somebody
what is now the merit of the
exam? If it were even a paper thing, we don't understand. But like JAM is computer based, it's CBT. So like, how do you mess up to the point that you can't write a program to mark stuff?
Honestly, I don't. If we continue,
They
we
make
won't
the
stop.
go learn for DLD, abi TMC.
It's crazy. But yeah, do you have anything to say?
What's the solution?
Hello. So I think again the web of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, is I'm not denying the fact that we have a web of problems, right? For me, it's more of a where is my head best suited to solve, right? Again, to solve a lot of problems, you need money. Where can you get money from? For me, where can you get money from? The best place to get money from is in an industry that people have interest in. So from sports, football. Then money you make from that, you go and use it in another place. So look at an instance, Shola. Shola made money from Paystack. He started Sporting Lagos. I'm very, very sure that Sporting Lagos is not going to be his last venture.
Yes, now he has another club in Denmark.
In Denmark. No, that's still in the sports industry. I'm talking about he makes money from the sports industry. He goes into another
You have
venture.
to diversify.
Yeah, exactly.
To...
That's what you get with people that are actually problem solvers, right? And that's the thing my dad kept telling me, and I now have adopted this philosophy. I'm not chasing money. Like, I'm not chasing money. Like, my mom keeps asking me, like, oh, are you not going to get your job and everything? And I'm like, if I want to get a job, I can get a job. Like, it's not an issue for me. It's not an issue getting a job, right? Is that I'm not after the money, right? The money is good. I'm not going to lie to you. The money is a vehicle. And my dad had made me realize that money is important, right? Don't chase money. Chase solving problems. I tell people now, I define problem. Make I just see problem, make I solve them. Now it's in my mind. Because when you solve a problem, the money is going to follow.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I mean, basic principles of entrepreneurship, they go on, and also even if you're in an organization, entrepreneurship is a thing. Like, in this part of the world, it's not as encouraged or it's not as popular as other places because people fear bureaucracy and other things. But like, it is a huge thing. Many people have become millionaires, even multi-millionaires, from just starting organizations, championing solutions, championing innovations, carrying it on their head, right? Because here there's always that slang of, is it your father's company? Why are you overdoing, right? But people still, there are creative ways to make wealth, right? And I feel like making certain levels of income just open the door of possibilities for you. So yeah, I think this has been a very, very interesting episode.
So can I just chip in one more thing? That'll take us back a bit to the football thing. I think another aspect that we didn't speak on is like how it's a culture thing, right? In places abroad, it's like the same way after Sunday, and I'm sure everybody here has had this experience, after Sunday church, let's go and eat KFC or TFC. The same way Sunday afternoon, Saturday
England,
afternoon.
football is almost a religion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That
So
one I
like,
know for a fact.
And we have that here as well. It's just that it's not.
So how do you think
how do you think we can do that for like the football clubs we have now?
Yeah, like
structure.
So
no,
how
in terms of interest,
structure
Interest. So again, and that's something I've also set out to do. See, if you know me, I think Chamo is the person that has suffered this the most. Don't worry. If you don't know, you don't know. Anyway, she's the person that has suffered it the most.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Because I almost always talking. I'm talking about football. I'm talking about Nigeria. I'm talking about watching the news. I'm talking about the transportation industry. And she's like, sometimes she's like, I feel like I'm not serious. Because you're always so serious. I'm like, I promise you, I'm not serious. I'm not. You know me. I'm not a serious human being. But when I'm fixated on a problem and solving a problem, my mind is in problem-solving mode. And because now I'm in problem-solving mode in Nigeria, that's why almost everything I'm consuming seems to be so serious. But I can't lie to you. I'm not a serious human being. I'm not.
But I think for me, one thing that's been bugging my mind is it's a content age. I would love to see highlights of Nigerian players on the local league. Let me watch somebody dribbling past. I mean, Lamine Yamal, kids
like
his
the
age,
the
younger.
quality of it, because like Sporting Lagos tries to do stuff like that. They do a lot of
Inter-Lagos
clips.
as well do that.
Yeah, they do
Inter-Lagos,
Inter-Lagos. They do stuff like. But like I can't. A lot of the time, right? I'm trying to look for the ball. Where is it? So I think
the quality of the video.
Yeah, the quality of the video isn't that good. Sometimes, some of the times. So yeah, it's something that's.
Yeah, because I don't even
watching
know
this.
if you guys ever knew these guys, Skill Twins. I used
just
to
freestyle.
in secondary, that was my nickname at a point. I mean, I wasn't really great on the pitch, but give me ball. I started doing all this theatrical. Forget it. And like those are guys. He had showboaters, right? Many of them even made videos with Ronaldo. You get Ferdinand,
F2.
like F2, right? People could look into that too here, and like there's so much. Like I'm always a huge fan of value chain, right? Don't just obsess about what you want. Also obsess about where can I find purpose? What gaps can I fill? Because let me not lie to you, people that really make money in this world, they find gaps, they solve it. They're not fixated about at that. So yeah, this has been a really, really interesting episode. I really hope, I'm sure a lot of guys will be able to resonate with this. I'm so sorry if we excluded ladies from this episode. Please.
Yeah, football.
Exactly. I know a lot about actually. Right. What's the female equivalent dream to a guy's sports?
I can't lie to you. I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's the question.
That's the question. I mean, if you know,
drop it in the comments.
Drop it in the comments.
Like, let us know, and we would actually do our research. And in fact, we would if somebody that you even know that can actually even educate us more. Like, let us know so that we can talk about it.
Wait, so is this limited to sports or like?
No, like in general.
What's that to man on an average? What's the highest?
Man used to play ball. Woman is X.
No, man is pro sports.
Pro sports, yeah.
Fair.
Right. For me, I generally thought I was going to be like a marathon runner because I was huge on it.
But there's some pro sports that are not available in this country, sure.
There's some what?
Pro sports that are not available.
Of course, not to do.
Don't worry, we'll get there.
But yeah, alright guys, thanks for watching this episode and we'll see you on the next one.